Today we're in the combined districts of Baixa and Sé, and this is part of our top 7 neighborhoods in Porto. So let's see what's happening in this area.
What's up, expats and travelers alike? I'm Josh with Expats Everywhere.
And I'm Kalie.
And at Expats Everywhere, we are dedicated to bringing you guys authentic information so that you know what it's like to move to a new place. And we're focusing in on Portugal, where we try to give you guys a look into how much it's going to cost, what it's like moving there, and how to integrate into your new community.
Right now we're going through a mini-series where we're going into the top 7 neighborhoods within Porto, and we're breaking things down like the housing, the eateries, the things to do, and stuff for living in that neighborhood.
Let's go.
When we talked about Serra Feita, we mentioned a few of the areas in that neighborhood bleeding into Baixa and Sé. All of these districts are very close together, so it's hard to draw a definite line, but since we're trying to break them up and highlight different things, we've chosen to follow a map we found online that we think does a pretty good job of drawing the lines. So let's go ahead and get into the neighborhoods of Baixa and Sé.
This neighborhood is commonly known as the downtown area and is just north of the Ribeira neighborhood and the river. There are 2 big hills in this district, one by the Cathedral of Porto and the other by Clérigos Tower. In between these 2 large hills, you'll find Avenida dos Aliados, which is a main avenue of the city of Porto.
The Baixa and Sé neighborhood is packed with things to see, places to go, and eateries to visit. We also can't forget all of the luxury hotels located here as well. If you want to treat yourself to a fancy staycation, then check out the different hotels around Liberdade or Liberty Square, one of the main squares in Porto. This is a really fun area with restaurants and shops, along with different monuments and the town hall. Just behind town hall is another big area of this district, Trinidad. This is the main metro station in Porto where all lines connect here.
If you're looking to be in the buzz of it all, then this is the place for you. Lots of tourists are in this area and there's always something going on. Near the plaza, you'll find São Bento train station, which is one of the main train stations in Porto. This is great for travel around the country, especially for day trips. You'll also find a nice walking street near there called Rua das Flores. This street is charming with little eateries. Also near the train station is the Cathedral of Porto, which stands tall and prominent. The church has gone through many different alterations over several hundreds of years, but its Romanesque facade has remained. This is moving closer to the river and the Ribeira district. There are other notable churches around Baixa and Sé, some with the beautiful blue tiles called azulejos.
If you head the other direction from Aliados, you will get to Clérigos Tower, another church with a beautiful clock tower. You're also getting to an area with lots of shops and bars. This is the place to be for a night out. If you want to be near all of the buzz and the nightlife, then you'll want to be here in this area. Porto University is right around here, so you can imagine the life in this area. It's definitely a place that is filled with tourists, but it's also filled with energy, so keep that in mind.
One of the biggest attractions in this area is the Lelo bookstore, which is commonly referred to as the Harry Potter bookstore because it is thought that J.K. Rowling drew inspiration from this bookstore for certain details in her Harry Potter series. It was built in 1906, and although the outside of the building is beautiful, the inside is the part you'll want to see. Now, we're not going to spoil it for you. You've got to check it out yourself. If you're a Harry Potter fan, then it is a must-see, but even if you're not, the interior really is majestic. But because of its fame and the crowds it draws, you'll have to pay.
Wanting to spend your money on something else? Check out one of the many bars in this area. There are all different types and styles. You can also find good food here too. Let's also not forget the shopping, as there are also plenty of places for clothing shopping here. If you want a minute to decompress and relax in some quieter green spaces, that is also available even though you're in the heart of downtown. While these parks might not be as big as other neighborhoods, it's really nice that the city has them even in the busy areas. This district really has everything, but because of how central it is and how it does offer so much, remember that this neighborhood can be loud and busy all the time.
Still in this district, but a few streets over from Praça Libertad, is one of the most important and recognizable streets in Porto. That's Rua de Santa Catarina. The history of this street dates back to around 1662, when it was known to have a small chapel in honor of Saint Catherine of Alexandria. This is a very long street with a portion of it being pedestrian only. The pedestrian only section is the most well known, but this street actually goes all the way north to the district of Marques. Now, if you haven't seen Marques neighborhood, we've got a video for you guys to click on if you'd like to check that out. The walking part is the place to be, as it's full of shops, cafes, a church with the notable blue tile facade, a mall, street performers, and just an amazing energy.
We also need to mention Boal Market, which is going through a massive renovation right now, but this is the most symbolic market in Porto. You can grab a coffee, shop, and take in the sights and sounds. We can't wait to actually see what it looks like when it reopens, which should be very soon.
Interested in Portuguese food? Check. Want different cuisines? You can find that here. Looking for a coffee or glass of wine? Of course that's here. How about a pastry? Yep. Because of all the variety, you'll find that housing could be a bit pricier for the size of place you get. This is an area to be in a taller building and have a little balcony. Since the buildings are older, it will be hard to find an elevator, so keep that in mind.
This district has the main metro station, Trindade, along with a couple other metro stations in the area.
You also have Aliados Metro, which pops up right into Liberty Square, and São Bento, which is right by the train station and Rua das Flores. And the last metro to mention is Boal, which pops you up right by the market and Rua Santa Catarina.
So many things to mention in this neighborhood, and there's just not enough time. But the hardest part is trying to pick 5 eateries to highlight for you. How can we only pick 5 when we've just mentioned that there's so many restaurants, bars, and pastry shops? So while we could probably do a whole series on the foods in Baixa and say, we're going to pick 5 to highlight here, but we'd love to know what your favorite place is, so definitely comment in the section below. Let's start with francesinhas because, well, you know me, I think they're amazing and I love them. But how do you pick just one place? There are lots and lots of options that we would recommend, but Praça dos Polveiros, where you actually have Santa Francesinha or Café Santiago, both have really good francesinhas.
Next, we want to highlight Pedro dos Frangos, which is on an unassuming side street. But the chicken here is, whoa, amazing. They have other meats and, of course, French fries. Overall, the food here is really good and at a great price for such a central location.
I might be biased to this one, but it's 100% making our list because I think that this place has the best chocolate pyramids. Confeitaria dos Clérigos is right by the Clérigos Tower, and it's an amazing bakery. They have savory and sweet options, but if you catch them on the days that they have their chocolate pyramids, these are a must try. Even if you don't live in this district, you can go and get the chocolate pyramid. That's what we do.
All right, guys, so Sia and I are here. We are gonna try a princesa. It is sugary egg, thank you, Sia, egg cream. There's these crunchy bits, very heavy. Heavy means reliable. Sia's ready. That's a big bite, Sia. What do you think? Oh my god, look at that. So good. Okay. Princesa, you like it? Now, next one. Okay, next one, recommended to us, traditional Portuguese dessert. This one is a chocolate pyramid. Oh, You don't want to try it. It is chocolate and like shavings of cake, I think. Let's give it a go. See ya. Bye. Oh man, it is so moist inside. I know that's a trigger word, but it is what it is. It's so moist and fudgy. It's not overly sweet. I love it. I'll get this again. Total was 350 euros. Boom. You like it? That's pretty good, huh?
We all know and love Superbock, but if you would like to venture out and try some craft beers, then Brasão is a good place to go. Don't worry though, they do have Superbock on the menu as well. This restaurant has a few locations, but you can get some craft beer and Portuguese snacks right in Aliados. They do offer a vegetarian francesinha as well. Let's check out this food.
We just had the truffle and meat croquette and it was amazing. The meat was very moist, the truffle flavor was not overpowering, and the sauce that went with it was really good too.
See you likes it.
We've been talking a lot about heavy Portuguese foods, which isn't a bad thing, but the last one on our list is a healthy option that uses authentic ingredients and has the slogan, no additives, no oils, no sugars, no lies. Nola Kitchen is a must-try for some unique and creative dishes that won't make you feel like you need to roll down the street. Lots of fresh options and lots of seasonal options too, which is great. We're at Nola Kitchen and I'm really impressed with the food. They had a lot of options. They were fun, different, unique type options, healthy, and I'm really enjoying the dishes that we got. Now that we've shown you the neighborhood of Baixa and Say, let's go ahead and give our personal ratings out of 5. You want to go first?
Yeah. Okay. So we can't do half ratings. All right.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with a 3.
Really? That's a surprise to me. Okay, go. Why?
Yeah.
3?
So I think that that Baixa Say is a little too touristy. I think that would be 1 point off of Baixa Say. The other thing is, I find that it's just a bit more expensive. Like, yeah, the housing cost is a bit higher. The restaurants are a bit higher. The lack of green space for the dog. I mean, because I'm the one that walks the dog basically morning and night. So I think that's why for me.
So probably it's more expensive because it is more touristy. So that knocks a whole 2 points off for you. Tourism and expense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Baixa Say is overrun with ALs, with alojamento locales. And when you have that, you have kind of this, I don't know how to put it, like a disconnect between what the cost of something should be monthly and then what they're charging because they know that they can get a great daily rent during tourist season.
That's true. Okay, so for me, I would actually give this neighborhood a 4 out of 5. Which is funny that we're flipped here.
I mean, I could see a 4. It's an interesting neighborhood, but why did you give it a 4?
I really like it. I think that, like we've mentioned before, there's just everything there. The different restaurants, the cafes. There is more green space than some of the other districts. Not as good as maybe Marrakesh, for example, that has bigger parks and playgrounds, but there's definitely more green space for the baby than in Feita, I would say. So that's why for me it's 4 out of 5. It's not a 5 because it's too touristy. That would be the point off for me. But there really is a lot to do there, and there's space for her to run around safely, which is good. And I just like the scene there. Even though the nightlife is pretty crazy, because that's again why it would be a 4 because of the baby, just the tourism and then the noise.
I can't believe it. Since you're so interested in the different neighborhoods of Porto, Portugal, we've created a playlist just for you right here so you can see other episodes just like this one here. The 7 different neighborhoods are all going to be in here. Now, let's get moving. Bye.
Bye.